Australian rules football? In the U.S.? That's right. The United States Australian Football League is in a city near you. Go to USAFL.com, find your team, check them out. We're a group full of men and women just like you. Join us for the fun athletic competition. Stay for the camaraderie.
We are the champions!
Log on and sign up to join your team at USAFL.com.
And welcome to Surf Cup Sports Park in San Diego for this USAFL Nationals Women's Division 2 match between the Columbus Jillaroos and the Texas Heat. I'm Peter Holden. Great to have your company this morning to bring you the first half of competition, the opening game for these two teams in Division 2. Now, the Jillaroos are a combination of the Chicago Swans, the North Star Blue-Ox, and the Columbus Jillaroos. The Texas Heat are a combination of the Houston Lone Stars and Dallas Magpies, with one player, Nat Poff, from the Wisconsin Wombats. Great to have your company as we go through this clash and attack early on goal towards the southern end of the ground here at San Diego Surf Cup Sports Park. A quick hurry kick around the corner will register as a minor score to the Jillaroos, and they will go ahead one behind to no score of Texas, and that's within the first 40 seconds of play. So good attack on goal. Some of the players to keep an eye out for in this game include Katrina Sherratt. She played for the USA Freedom in IC17. She's expected to be a star on the ruck in the middle of the ground. Also, you've got Amy Berniarski, who played for the USA Liberty during their tour of Australia back in August. Also, others to look out for. Amy McGuinness from the Chicago Swans is a very good footballer as well. Throw in Lauren Bowlesley, who again toured with the US and Australia just a couple of months ago. Emily Smuter as well for North Star Blue-Ox. Olivia Von Gareth as well. Plenty of talent there in that side for the Columbus Jillaroos. Meanwhile, for the Texas Heat women's team, of course, look out for their star player, Sarah Pulliam. I've been told to keep an eye on Aubrey Bagley. I heard that some good raps coming out for her. Nafla Poff, of course, an experienced footballer coming out of the Wisconsin Wombats. The only player for the Wombats. She normally play for the Minnesota Freeze, but this time around helping out Texas. Yes, I think you might find it unusual. So I'm from Wisconsin helping out Texas, but of course it's good to have that experienced player to help out this Texas team who are making their debut at the USAFL Nationals as we speak. Felicity Harrison taking a mark there. She turns around, gets on the right boot, decides to switch it towards the back popper, dribbling football. Is there one in the back? The umpire said no, play on as Pulliam comes out with the football, gets on the right boot, delivers in towards the middle of the ground. They've got some good run on here, 75 metres out from goal, need a clean kick, wasn't going to be so, and there's going to be a foot race on towards the back line. Best was the thing going after the football, couldn't get there. Indeed, picked it up, tried to shrug off the player there, and Bowlesley flying shot at goal for the Heat, I think, is away for a minor score. So that will level things up here on the Cooper's scoreboard to being 1 point apiece between Columbus and Texas. 2.5 minutes gone in this first half. Now, normally in Aussie rules football, we play games of 4 quarters because we're at the Nationals and there's so many games to be played in such a short period of time, being just 2 days, we will play 2 20-minute halves with no time on per side. The only time we do call for time on if there is a serious injury. Was looking for Shearer. The kick just got away from her. Now she might pick it up in the foot race. Lays on a good little bump. Katrina Sherratt goes in, bends over, picks up, gives a little hand pass off. Hurry kick forward. I think that might be Shipley Snyder who jicked the ball towards the middle of the ground, only for it to be intercepted. Opportunity here for the Texas Heat. Was looking for Nat Poff. Couldn't get there. The kick was wide of her to the left-hand side, and the Columbus Jillaroos will reset themselves, just letting off the pressure. And here's the hurry kick towards the halfback flank position. Good heat being put on there by Stevens, forced the drop, but the Jillaroos are going to come away with a football out towards the halfback flank on the broadcast side here. Hurry kick there, just slamming it on the boot there. It might have been Hoover there who's pumped it in long towards the half forward flank position. Now halfback flank is Pavlenko for the Heat, tried to get to the football, and the umpire's pulled out a free kick and said it will go the way of the Heat. Think so. She was a bit confused if it was a ball up or not because she went to hand pass it back to the umpire. But Pavlenko now has it for the Texas Heat. The jumper, I should point out, has been designed by Brian Barish, and he also designed the All-Star Blue-Ox jumper, which we'll see on the Sunday of the tournament. Going in to try and pick up the football there is Devlin. She got spun around in the circle. The umpire said she got rid of it fairly, though. Tried to go back for the hand pass to Stevens. In goes Shearer as well. Tried to dispossess Stevens and did so cleverly. Gets on the right boot, right up against the boundary line in our broadcast position. A long kick only we'll see it intercepted in defence for the Texas Heat. I think calling for it short there was Felicity Harrison. Wanted to go in her direction, wide of Shearer there. Hurried attack on the ball, pulling him from behind. Going in there to offer support Zamatis over the top of it. Trying to go in there, Shipley Snyder. Taken away though, Sparling. Got the hand pass away. Umpire said it wasn't a throw, it was fair. Trying to go in there is Bagley again. Bagley puts her head over the football. Managed to shrug off a tackle and then kicks it back in board. That's smart football here for the Texas Heat. Puts it in towards the hot spot. About 45 metres out from goal. Gives it the hand pass. I think it's Withers who's going for a flying shot at goal. And it's away to the right-hand side and will register as a minor score. That, though, put the Texas Heat up by a solitary point. They're 2 behinds, leading Columbus Jillaroos no score. I should point out for those watching Aussie Rules for the first time online here on YouTube, if you kick a behind in Aussie Rules, that's just worth the 1 solitary point to the team. If you kick a goal, it's worth 6 points. So you'll see below, say, COL, Cole being short for Columbus. The 0 means they've kicked no goals. The 1 next to that means they've kicked 1 behind. And obviously the 1 next to that means the total score 1. So if they kick 1-1, that means the score would be 7. But obviously they've only kicked 1 behind, so they only have 1 point. Likewise for Texas with the 2 behinds. Pulliam goes in to try and lay a tackle. Couldn't get there. Hurried kick out of the pack again from the Texas Heat. Trying to gain some ground here. About 25 out from goal. Another shot. Did they get it? No, it's away again. Oh, some wasted opportunities here from the Texas Heat. You felt there's 2 of them that they really should have put through and opened up a big margin early on the Columbus-Jillaroos combination. But they go to 3 behinds and the Jillaroos 1 behind. The Jillaroos teamed up last year with the Baltimore Washington Eagles, this year teaming up with the Chicago Swans and the North Star Blue Ox. Texas making their debut at the Nationals this year, which is fantastic to see for the growth of women's footy, particularly around Houston and Dallas. And we should mention a Dallas resident being Erin Phillips. She played for the Dallas Wings in the WNBA. As another shot on goal is away to the right-hand side. Oh, they're racking up the points early, but they just can't put it between the big sticks. Texas moved to 4 behinds. Columbus 1 behind. Yes, Erin Phillips, who played for the Dallas Wings in the WNBA, ended up playing in the inaugural AFL women's season back in Australia when the semi-professional league made its debut, was co-captain of the Adelaide Crows and led them not only to the premiership, but she also won the league best and fairest. A fantastic effort there by the Olympian and WNBA basketballer. And of course, she'll be back in the summer of 2018 in Australia to play again for the Adelaide Crows in season 2 of the AFL women's competition. As we speak, Aubrey Bagley takes the mark and she finds herself just between the centre square and the 50-metre line, and decides to wind up and goes for a kick over the head there of Naf Poff, who couldn't get to it. Zamantis was there as well. Poff went in, tried to pick up the football, went again on the second effort. Ball was smothered out of her hands. Poff again does the great following up work, and the umpire said, though, this was in the back, and it will be a free kick going the way of the Columbus Jillaroos. You're watching youtube.com/USAFL 1997, and that's where we've got all the videos of not only the USAFL Nationals, some of the games being played there, but also some of the tournaments such as the Western Regional, Eastern Regional, and Central Regional tournaments. Here's the long kick in towards the middle of the ground. Only was sent back from whence it came. Pavlenko goes for a run. Had to get rid of the football at the crucial moment. Did so. I think got it out there to Julia Wells, who now goes inside 50 with the kick. Nothing really to go to. Poff's leading on a 2-on-1, chasing the ball close towards the boundary line. It won't go out. It will be a Jillaroos football. Go with a hand pass on the far side of the ground on the right boot. They tried to gain some metres, but only for it to be intercepted. Now, for a mark to be paid in Aussie Rules football, the ball has to travel without being touched for 15 metres. And then if you take a mark, whether it's your team or the opposition, the mark is then paid and you get to go back and have a free kick without being interfered. Or if you want to, you can play on and take the advantage quickly. Here's the hurried kick, and it will be taken by Miller. When I say play on, take the advantage, that means you've started behind the player on the mark, not forward of the mark. The advantage rule is a bit complicated, and you might have to go online to YouTube and find out all the intricacies about that, because even that sometimes changes from year to year. Here's the hurry kick. Shearer waiting on the last line of defence. The ball pops out of her hand and goes over the boundary line and out of bounds. 8.5 minutes gone in this first half. Texas on 4 behinds. Columbus 1 behind. Other teams in the Division 2 pool include the Portland Sockos combination. They are teaming up with the Philadelphia Hawks this year. Also the Baltimore Washington Eagles. They're teaming up with Boston. The LA Dragons in the competition this year, teaming up with Des Moines, Arizona Hawks, and spare players from the San Francisco Iron Maidens. That is your pool Division 2 rather, of the USAFL Nationals. And then there's 8 teams competing in Division 1. All details online at USAFL.com, and then just click on 2017 Nationals. Or if you want to find a women's club near you, USAFL.com/women. Chance here for the Jillaroos. Good hand pass away as Stevens tried to do the waving the arms to try and stop that. But Berniarski, I think, has taken that there on the far side of the ground from our commentary position. It's a bit hard for us to see on that far side. Now goes long and high the kick, in the smoother direction over her head. Winters there, got rid of the football. Up against the boundary line. Mark taken. They elect to play on quickly. Now some space could open up. Sherratt on the hammer. Tries to go in and lay the tackle. Didn't work out. Miller gets caught, spun around, got the hand pass away in the nick of time, went backwards. There's some support here as Sherratt lays the tackle, and the support was Julia Wells coming in, but the umpire said Sherratt laid a fair tackle, and the player from the Heat did drop the football cold without getting a kick or a hand pass away, so it will be a free kick going the way of the Columbus Jillaroos. Here's the kick, up the line, mark taken. Might be McGuinness out there on the far side, in front of the scoreboard. His side down by 3 points. One straight kick would put them in front. If they can get that goal, try to get a hurried kick away. Didn't work out. Just a traffic jam of players at the half-forward flank for the Columbus Jillaroos. Bodies all over the football. Stevens wanted to go in there again. Now I think it's Smuda who's come out with the football, who kicks it and tries to centre it, but no one home. And it will be an easy kick away. Oh, only for it to be intercepted. Now, taking that's Conley off the top of my head. Trying to think who's got the football there for the Jillaroos. They find themselves 50 metres out from home. Goes with a hurry kick. Trying to chase after it, I think, was Mahoney up against the boundary line, only for it to be taken away by the Texas Heat. And they'll go long and wide. That's smart football. When you're down in when you're ahead in women's football and you're trying to come out of defence, long and wide, try and make sure it's a difficult ride home for the opposing side as Sherratt goes long again up the line. She's racking up the possessions early, up against the boundary line. Little chip back into play, intercepted. Jillaroos football. 65 metres out from goal. Scrappy play on the far side of the ground. The kick. Just bowls over the player there, and Pavlenko, who came out to try and meet it. Guy tries to chase after and mows down her opponent. And the umpire doesn't pull out the free kick, just allows play to go on the end. That Poff's waiting for it. Can they get it out to her? There's a hurried hand pass. Poff has got space. Has she got composure? The ball just won't bounce correctly for her. Oh, if it just went the right way, the goals were going to open up. Pulliam goes in after it. The umpire's pulled out a free kick, and the whistle is to the way of the Columbus Jillaroos. So 7.5 minutes remaining. Jillaroos with the football. They work it wide. Shipley Snyder now going up the line. Works it wide. Going after it. I think Berniarski out there getting caught. Umpire still letting play to go on. It's a bit of a scrappy game, this one. This is Division 2 of the USAFL Nationals. And, of course, it's has a lot of new players in both of these teams, as we had Texas making their debut in any tournament as well. So the scores will be a little bit scrappier than you would in Division 1, particularly, for example, if you see a San Francisco and Denver, say, those two teams. If you see them go at it, you'll see a clean, fast game of football. But that comes with experience, and it comes with playing more games. And as we said, Texas, they were only formed about 3 months ago, which is great news that they could make it to the Nationals in just that short space of time. But no doubt when they get to play at either the Western or Central Regionals and get to play more games, even amongst themselves as Houston and Dallas and even Austin, that will see the rapid growth in skills of women's football in that part of the country. As the ball's on the far side of the ground, now an opportunity. They'll try and centre it. Oh, nearly caught one in the chops there. The umpire's blown the whistle. That surely would be a free kick. It was way too high. As that Makita with the football. She finds herself in the forward pocket, stabs at it. Oh, needed some height, and it will be rushed through for a minor score. So it's now 2 points the difference here in the first half. The Columbus Jillaroos 2 behinds, the Texas Heat 4 behinds, and we've got under 6 minutes remaining in this first half here at San Diego Surf Cup Sports Park. As the kick out from defence. Going to set a task here for Bagley, who's over it. Got Harrison for support. Ball on the deck, and she did well to come out of that, Harrison, on the right boot. Just gained some meters. Now, defensive side of centre, coming in late, Messeros. Did well to get it inboard, and now wanting to go for a runner's goal. Goal taps the football on the ground, draws the player towards her, gets the hand pass over the top. Now trying to work it again is Morris. Now they're starting to link up. Messeros has did run some great ground from half back to the half-forward plate to try and create an opportunity, but the hand pass to her was no good. It just wouldn't stick. And then Shipley started up against the boundary line, tried to put it hurriedly on the right boot, gained about 10 metres, only for it to be intercepted by Gall, who put it once again in towards the hot spot. Chasing after it is Morris over around the football. Sherratt went in there for the Columbus Jillaroos. Kicks the ball back inboard. It's an awkward ball. They'll pick it up now. They got the hurried hand pass by Bernarski. In goes Bagley. Dispossessed. Oh, thrown into the ground. And the umpire says that was a bit crude. And the player has just gone down and hit her head pretty hard. The old sling tackle was just thrown away. She spun around. Head hit the turf. And let's say that she is going to be certainly waking up with a headache in the morning. Just waiting for the trainer to come in and inspect and make sure that she's okay. As we said, she got spun around and she got thrown out of that tackle by Bagley, and there was just head hit the ground, and that was it. She was down straight away in a world of pain. Let's just hope that she's getting up with a little bit of a headache and nothing more serious. Play stopped here at the moment with 4 minutes remaining, and Texas 4 behinds, Columbus 2 behinds. Let's see what the umpire's doing here. He's pulling the play back away from that incident, and I hope he's not restarting play, because normally in this situation, particularly back in Australia, you got someone out and there's a serious head injury, the umpire will stop play, and normally the two teams will break away into 2 groups and just chat amongst themselves and, talk game plan, etc., while they allow the trainers to assess what's going on, because you can't really restart play when a player's down like that, particularly if it's something like a serious neck injury or something like that, where they will have to call the stretcher and take the player off the ground. So our clock is ticking. We're not sure if the official clock is paused or not. As we said, there's no time on in these tournaments. It's just 2 straight 20-minute halves, unless there is a serious injury, in which case the umpires can consult with the timekeepers and say, stop the clock, because obviously there's a fair bit of time is needed to walk off the ground. There are some occasions in some of these national type tournaments where, say, an injury like this happens in the second half and it's near the end of the game, and if the game doesn't have a bearing on the result on who will go through to the next stage, go through to the grand final, where teams may actually end up shaking hands and saying, let's just call the game. So we obviously wish this player best of luck for the Jillaroos, who's just on the ground, and let's hope the medicos can do their best, and let's just hope that she's just a little dazed, and a bit of water and a bit of time on the sidelines, and she'll be okay to go again. Of course, a lot of concussion tests and all of that people do have to go through now to make sure that they're okay to play. In some competitions, you actually can't come back for a couple of weeks. They say you have to sit out to make sure that you're okay and everything's all right. I remember Elise O'Day, a Melbourne AFLW footballer. She played a game for Darabin in the VWFL competition a few years ago and had a concussion, was very dazed to say the least, and had to sit out a week. She said she was okay to play that week, but obviously the medicos wanted to make sure that she was okay and that everything was fine. And then she came back the week later and played in an exhibition game for Melbourne prior to the AFL women's competition starting. And that's because it's all about the medicos. They say if you're right to go or not, and you listen to their best advice, no matter how much you want to play. So our clock at the moment shows 1:40 to go. The Texas combination, 4 behinds. Columbus 2 behinds. Someone goes pigging back on past. That's something you don't see every day. You're watching the USAFL Nationals. This is game 1 of Division 2. The Columbus Jillaroos teaming up with the North Star Blue Ox and the Chicago Swans, taking on the Texas Heat, a combination of the Houston Lone Stars, Dallas Magpies, and Naflapov from the Wisconsin Wombats. As we just wait for everyone to get back in position. As you saw, the players had left the ground and spoke to their coaches while that pause in play happened. As umpire just make sure everything is okay, and then we'll be ready to go again to get play underway. umpire gives the ball as a free kick, so it must have been paid as dropping the ball to the Texas Heat, and here's the long kick inside 50. Goes towards a pack situation, 45 metres out from goal. Bit of holding going on there. I thought that was a bit of a throw out to Samantha's. Umpire allowed it to go on. Going across there was Madeline Morris. Lost control of the football. Got nutmegged on that occasion. Bernarski went in there to try and get the football. Bagley charged her way through. Sherratt did the smothering work close towards the boundary line. Now, that should be on the full. That should actually be on the full. The umpire says it's out of bounds, throw in. That actually came off the back of the ankle there of the player in Bagley. So that really should have been a free kick to Columbus. But nonetheless, the umpire's given the benefit of the doubt and says it will be a throw in. Hurry kick on the ground by Morris. Intercepted there by the Jillaroos. They kick the ball towards the wing position. Going in there and getting to it, I think is Murray the Victoria. Got it out now, moved it up the line towards the half-forward flank position. Just bowling over a few players there and charging the way through is Megan Hills. Hills going again. Hills tries to stop the player. Does well, holds it up, and it will be a free kick to Columbus or a ball up. Let's watch. No calls for the ball up. It's Hills' second effort there that was fantastic, and with support from Bronwyn Smith. And, yep, it ends up being a free kick in the end. Pardon me, Bronwyn Smith has it for the Jillaroos. Our clock's expired here at our end. Of course, we must be playing time on courtesy of that injury, so we'll see how much time they do add for this second half. I reckon at least about a minute and a half will be added time as the ball is on the ground. Picking it up and going for a run, Pavlenko. Got it to Bagley, who found herself space. Bagley takes the mark, goes back. Looks further afield, holds the football up. One-handed, one boot kick. It's a long one. Clears several players. Just trying to get the way through traffic there was Meseros. Did well in the end. Got it out to her teammate Morris. Morris goes inside 50. Looking for Poff. Poff was turned over by the ball. McGuinness waiting out the back. And McGuinness put it on the right boot. Kicked it around the corner. Only as far as Morris, who held it up. Jillaroos, though, managed with numbers to swarm onto the ball. And they kick it towards the broadcast side. Bouncing football. Bumped off of it was Pulliam. Pulliam goes in again. Buries her opponent into the ground. And the umpire says that's holding the football. And Sarah Pulliam will get the resulting free kick. She was a guest on our girlsplayfooty.com podcast prior to the Nationals. You can find that podcast on Apple Podcasts and SoundCloud. She looks further afield, nearing halftime. And kicks the ball inboard. Is that a mark? No, it's dropped at the crucial moment. Chasing after us there is Harrison. Tries to get a hand pass over the top. Calling for it there is Stevens. Kicks it towards the 50-metre mark. And by the sound of it, that is half-time here at the USAFL Nationals Women's Division 2. It's Texas leading by 2 points over the Columbus North Star Chicago combination. We'll be back with the second half right after this.
We're about to learn how to teach our kids / teach ourselves how to kick a footy.
Okay, tips to kick the footy. Number 1, nose over toes, which means just going to be over the football. You don't want to be looking up to where you're kicking, you want to be over the footy. Laces to where we're kicking it. We're going to drop it and we're going to point our toe.
Nose to toes, and then we're dropping and not throwing up.
Good, perfect. We can go home.
I love that summer feeling. I don't want it ever leaving. Breathing in the sky that's so clear. I can spend my whole life right here. I love that summer feeling. Now I'm here, I'm never leaving. Everything is possible right here. I love that summer feeling. Now I'm here, I'm never leaving. Everything is possible right here. I love that let go feeling. I feel my hands up on the ceiling.
Happiness is calling at sandiego.org.
My first game, I stood there and I was just like, I don't know what's happening, but I'm just gonna run. I just kept going and I kept going to practice, I kept going to the games, and eventually it just clicked. And I was just like, oh, I get it now, like this is fun.
Aussie rules, is also known as footy, is the equivalent of like the NFL here, and so in Australia they call it AFL.
So in Australia it's still a huge sport, especially for the women. It's getting even bigger.
It's empowering for women, young women.
It's really great to just be able to run around and just have so much fun with a bunch of people that love the same sport that you do.
It just gives me this energy that I just can't describe, and it just brings me like so much joy.
It's a great physical outlet, but also the people that we play with are just so amazing.
These are the girls that if you want to dress up and go out, they'll be there for you. If you want to be in your sweatpants all day and eat chocolate and watch Netflix, they're also there for you.
I think that this sport has something for everyone.
I just feel like anyone and everyone should try it, give it a go, and just see if they like it.
If you're watching this video, it's not by accident. This is for you.
And a very warm welcome to San Diego Sports Park as we bring you the second half here of this game between the Columbus Jillaroos combination and the Texas Heat made up of Houston and Dallas. Peter Holton here with Brian Barish. Brian, how are you?
Good morning, Peter. Good morning, everyone. I'm doing pretty well. Got a lot of gremlins about, but we have them trapped in their cage. But this is a wonderful event with 90 games going on this weekend. And hey, we talk about the Texas Heat, of course, combination of players from Houston, Dallas, and of course we got Nafla Puff from the Wombats, and they are up 4-2 at the end of the first half. Second half is underway. Get us underway, Peter.
And Katrina Sherratt ends up going in the ruck for them up against Pavlenko for the Lone Stars. Big tackle laid on there, and the umpire has blown the whistle and has, well, they called for a ball up or awarded a free kick there.
Free kick.
Being blindsided, so free kick here for the Texas Heat, and wearing that is Rebecca Stevens with the 14. Should say the jerseys for the Heat have been designed by one and only Brian Barish, along with the North Star Blue Ox, which we'll see on Sunday, their jumpers. Hurry little hand pass away, got smacked out of the pack. Ball is now in dispute in the middle of the ground. Can anyone try and pick up a clear possession? Trying to go in there and hold it up was Harrison for the Heat, and the umpire calls for the football back. So we'll go again one more time here on Surf Cup's Sports Park San Diego, the 2017 USAFL Nationals. Coming around and swinging around is Winter on the left boot, but the ball was smothered, hit the ground, several players pushed over, umpire lurking around, had the whistle in mouth, elected not to blow it. So let's see if they can try and get the football out. Now he calls a whistle for too high, and it will be a free kick going the way of the Heat. Liking the numbers on the back, they stand out nice and clear. I'm thinking that in the future the Jillaroos, they do like the Hawthorn, where they've got the white with the black numbers on the back. Just makes it a little bit easier to see, because that like silver or grey looks very difficult on a pink and a black. As the ball is now in dispute in the middle of the ground. Let's see if anyone's to go pick it up. They're all going in for the shepherding work. Umpires called play on. Little hurry kick along the ground there by Devlin, not electing to pick it up, and it ends up being a Jillaroos football. Throwing the football there is Balsley. Umpire says that's a free kick, and it's going the way of the Heat.
Warren Balsley, who had a good tournament, or a good tour for the Liberty, and the free kick going the way of number 12, which is Maria Pavlenko, originally from Russia, kicking that one in. Ball went to ground. They throw them out of the way. The Heat playing very well. Many of these girls playing footy, competitive footy for the very first time. Sherratt with a good tackle and earning the free kick. Katrina Sherratt, arguably Rookie of the Year for the USAFL on the women's side last season. She throws that one onto the right, out to the near side, into the contest, over the head of Berniarski. Ball goes to ground, stacks on the mill, one out there, into the middle of the ground. Berniarski again going after it. The Heat had it and lost it. Ripping it away there was Crystal Winters. Winters gets bowled over like a candle pin. Ball still on the ground. Everyone's sort of very anxious about going after the football. Umpire crosses the arms and awards a ball up. 4-2 is the score. Texas the lead early second half.
as the ball now goes into space. Hurried little hand pass away into traffic. Ballsley goes chasing after the football, does pick it up and goes for a run. Long kick, an open inside 50 really. 2-on-1, good tackle laid on there. Winters came at a hard, but the umpire said it was a little reckless and over the shoulder, and it will be a free kick going the way of the Columbus Jillaroos.
Megan Hills will get the free kick.
And the Hills are alive with the sound of music, indeed, after that free kick. And Hills now has the opportunity to try and hit up a teammate. She was looking to her right and will instead look to go straight down the line. It's long and it's high. It's over the head of a few. Shearer's lurking nearby. Waiting out the back is Bagley. Bagley overran the football. Couldn't quite pick it up. Getting in there as well. I think Pop was lurking around there. Hurried kick out of the pack by the Heat. He's working wide. Foot race is on the outer side of the ground. Going after it again, the Jillaroos, and the umpire on the other side, the boundary umpire, without a whistle, just puts the hand up to kind of signal, yes, the ball has gone over the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in. 4 points to 2, the lead with the Heat.
The Jills trying to get something going offensively. They got a couple of forward sorties. Mahoney threw that one forward in the Guy direction, and that one is tackled and goes to ground. Heat with it, but it's going to be called back as tackling without the footy is called. So it'll be a free kick awarded to the Jillaroos. Or no to the Heat. I apologize. Well, he had pointed the one way, and it will be in the personages of Felicity Harrison, who will go up the far corridor. The ball will tumble through, and it will tumble out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. And as we mentioned, a lot of these girls here, Peter, have not played organized footy before. The fact that they did so well in the first half, now granted they had the wind, I think is a great sign in their very first game.
And as we said, they've only been playing essentially for 3 months when they held their come and try days in Houston and Dallas and Austin. And hopefully a win or two in the tournament encourages the girls to keep coming back and playing Aussie rules. And let's hope they can get a Texas League started up with those 3 big cities in Texas. As the ball is inside 50 now, going in there on the ground to try and get the hand pass out was Crystal Winters again. Overran the football. Bernarski was lurking around there for the Jillaroos. Ball popped out the side. Now the Jillaroos, of course, Columbus, North Star and Chicago making up their combination. Texas have got, of course, Houston, Dallas, and the one player from Wisconsin. Hurried hand pass out. They go with a left boot kick in towards the middle of the ground. How's it going to settle? I think Loney comes out to try and get the football. Goes with a hand pass, looking for Katrina Sherratt. Straight through her hands, controls it. Taps it forward, Sherratt. It's smart football. Sherratt now goes for a run at 50. Off the side of the boot. Put it on towards the hot spot. Who's going to try and run on there? Plenty of numbers out the back, and I think that might be Ballinger that's waiting out there, who goes for a run for the Heat. Kicks it long towards the half-back flank on the outer side of the ground. Also going after the football there is Mattis, close towards the boundary line, and the boundary umpire, I think, might have signalled. No, he's called a free kick. Instead, it will be the Heat with the ball, half-back flank outer side of the ground. It's
Caitlin Zamatis, one of the players from Dallas, up on the far side as she was taken down without the football. Going after it there is Madeline Morris, another one of the Dallas representatives. Ball on the ground. Umpire crosses his arms like the Monsignor. Will have a ball up. A number of players out there, as we said, for the North Star Blue Oxes. That was their first season. As Sherratt, by the way, that was a fantastic play by Sherratt. She taps it to Mahoney as she kicks that one up on to the right. Chasing after it is Berniarski, but there are 2 white jumpers. And going back to get it, I believe that was Beattie who went back to get it. Joanne Beattie, as that one is kicked up on the far side. That one's going to come back, I believe. And in fact, it will be a free kick. Joanne Beattie, by the way, we got official certification from the previous record holder of Kat Hogg that Joanne Beattie at 53 is the oldest player to play in the USAFL women's division. And she's out there, another player from Dallas.
Makes me feel guilty not playing anymore. I'm only 36.
Yeah, you and me both.
She could be my mother at that age. As the ball is on the outer side. They go for the hurry kick, looking for the Bowlsley direction at the half-forward flank. Jillaroos trying to get some play going. Shearer again has it. Goes for the hand pass. Tries to put something in towards the central corridor. They bust through the pack, only for it to be stolen away. Nice little hand pass that didn't quite stick. The intention was there. Going in there is Shearer. Spun the player 360. Ball goal, they cry, and Bagley got away possibly with Blue Murder, kicked it towards the middle of the ground. Now it's all held up there. Sarah Pulliam, who joined us on the Girls Play Footy podcast a week ago, got taken care of by Balsley, who now has possession, goes towards centre half forward, only far as Harrison. Harrison now goes towards centre half back, trying to go with a hurried hand pass, got it back again, got it to her teammate, left boot kick. Umpire said it was fair play on, but it's now been taken by Balsley, who gets the hand pass away. Jillaroos now with an option towards centre half forward, came off the shins of a few players. Going in there again is Harrison. She's been getting a lot of possessions, very impressive for the Heat coming off half back, but now the Jillaroos with an option on the far side. I think going after it on that occasion might be Conley out there. Has the football, goes for the hurried hand pass. It does stick. Now on the right boot, going inside 50. The problem is there's nothing really to go to, and the ball will dribble over the boundary line. Did it go on the full? On the full, according to the boundary umpire, so it will be a free kick for the Heat.
One thing, talking to Alan Gardner before the season, the head coach of the Jillaroos, was he was concerned about getting offensive pressure forward. Ariel Balsky was a late scratch for this one, so they need to be able to make leads and get some more pressure forward. And as you saw right there, they kicked out of desperation really to nothing, and unfortunately now it's a turnover. So the Heat will put the ball back in the play from their back pocket, and the ball is up over there somewhere on that far side. So they look around here, and that one is now up into the air off of the legs there of, that one is soccered out high and up on that far side. It stays in play, kept in by the Heat. Pulliam goes into the middle, looking for Gale. Gale will go forward. They've got they got the notion here. Turning around there was Morris. Morris couldn't find the footy, went to pick it up. She's dragged down, holding the ball is the call on Delia Morris, and it is Shannon Mahoney in her, I believe this is her 4th full season with the Columbus Jillaroos, to take her down. Cooper Scoreboard says the Jillaroos trail 4-2, the chance to bring it out from the back pocket.
And they just look further afield. Shearer on the right boot, a lovely long high kick, attempted mark dropped, and then it's come off the boot of a Texas player, so that should be out of bounds on the full free kick towards the Jillaroos. One player I spotted earlier today, and I thought a very similar look to Katrina Sherratt, even though she played in the back line, was Amelia Carr out of Seattle.
Yeah, she's very athletic, and Valerie Barber-Axel was very excited about her and played very well at the Western Regionals. You're right, it is very athletic, and that's helped Seattle. They didn't get the win today or this morning, but they do look very good. Ball comes into the middle, picked up and throwing out of the way there, and the ball came spinning away. That was Bronwyn Smith. Comes to the feet of Scherer, who picks it up and sends it back. Nice mark on the inside there by... let's see, I believe that was Phillips, and that one is up on the far side. The ball will tumble out of bounds, and I believe that'll be a boundary throw. And you see a number of players wearing light blue socks. That's from the North Star Blue Ox, another one of the both teams, and also whose designer is a very handsome man.
I've been told it's one Brian Barish, but I haven't been told he's a handsome man. As the ball is on the outer side of the ground, but I am open to bribery. As the ball is going out there for Shearer. Goes in to pick it up, gets it on the right boot, and just going through the hands there, Rebecca Stevens. A few players asked for a shout-out, and I said, well, as long as there's a shout at the bar, that's fine. As the umpire blows the whistle, and let's see what he's done here. He's awarded a free kick, it looks like, to Stevens for the Texas Heat. Geez, the time's kicking by. I reckon there's probably about 5 minutes to go. Texas 5 minutes away from a win on debut. Now, Columbus had a different combination. They had the Baltimore-Washington Eagles they were teamed up with last year, and they finished 3rd of the 3 teams in Division 2. And as we said, Texas all bar, I think, Nat Poff from Wisconsin making their debut. As you said, 1 or 2 others, veterans that are now moved down to the Texas area. But great to see many new players possibly in their first victory. Ball on the outer side of the ground. Let's see again if it can be picked up. Hurried little tackle laid on there. Was good effort by Pulliam, but it got away there for the Jillaroos, only far as half back. Kick while under pressure to the far side of the ground. Bolsley overran the football. Going in there and getting caught, I think, is Mazaros. Umpire says she got rid of it legitimately, so allows the play to go on. Now, the Heat player was going to pick it up and go for a kick, but he's pulled out a free kick and he's gone the way of the Jillaroos.
Back the other way, and by the way, Beck Stevens is technically a veteran. She played in 2015, joined at the last minute as Sherratt plucks that one out of the air. Her husband is Matt Stevens, who is the captain of the Division II side for the Lone Stars. Stars. As that one is kicked in, ball hits the deck. Shoving her out of the way there was Zamatis. Stayed with the footy, handballs it back, and here they come the other way through Aubrey Bagley. A lot of buzz around young Aubrey Bagley from that Houston side, and Milo Lombardi as the ball is marked on the far side. Texas trying to get something going, looking for the first goal of the game. Drops in front of Pulliam, who goes in second bite of the cherry. Believe was going in after Berniarski in there. Ball comes free. And now we have a rugby maul situation, and the whistle was blown before that. And the umpire will take that and do his patriotic chore on the Cooper scoreboard. It's the Texas Heat 4, Columbus Jillaroos 2. Brian Barish alongside Peter Holden, whose voice you're going to hear now.
And they try to get a hurried hand pass away over the top. Now Pulliam again while under pressure. Close towards the boundary line. Sherratt will see it over. Also looking nearby Harrison for the Heat. Not too far away from full time. And time is the Heat's best friend. If they can keep it in their forward 50, they may get the points in the first game for them in Division 2, which is made up of 5 teams. No grand final, just the team that has the best winning record at the end is claimed champions. Hurry kick towards the centre-half forward position. Overrunning the football, nearly getting it in the back there is Sparling. Umpires pulled out, I think, a free kick for in the back. And will bounce straight back up. No, holding the football. There you go. So I'm wrong, and the umpire's right. Kicks it in towards the middle of the ground. At least that's what they say. Maddock went after the football. Now has to try and spin around there. In fact, it's McGuinness from Chicago. Now kicks it in towards the middle of the ground. Had to be very good with the kick, and was so. I think it's Hoover that's taken that. And Von Gareth from the North Star Blue Ox has it, puts it in the Sherratt direction. Is she going to steal the game? She sold the candy beautifully, kicked it inside 50. Now here's the opportunity. It's a 2-on-1. If Texas can work it out, they do out of defence. Got past Sherratt, who was waiting at half back. If they can line up, that's the question. Now they swing around on the right boot. Excellent smother there. Goes back when it is to try and kick it off the ground. Didn't work out. Opportunity again for Columbus. They really do need a mark. Ooh. And smacked. Did it clip the point post?
I think it did, yes.
No. Boundary umpire says it's a point.
Oh.
Goal umpire said it snuck through for a behind. No. Field umpire's coming in and he's waving. He's waving the decision. No, he's saying it clipped the point post.
Yes.
So we have a point of conjecture here. The field umpire is saying it's not a point, but they've waved the flags to signal point. So it should only be 2 behinds. Keep talking, Ol.
As the ball goes out, as the ball comes back into play, well, we have it as 4-2. The scoreboard still has it as 4-2, so somebody is right. As the ball is tied up on that far side. Wow, a little bit of controversy here, but it is right, Peter, because that ball absolutely did clip the behind post. And I think, you know, we have umpires that are in fact, I think they're being told that. In fact, Tyler Kammerman, who's a former board member of the USAFL, is telling her that right now. But meanwhile, play continues as Columbus, trying to move in, is keeping vigil on that as Berniarski. The ball squirts out, and we have a ball up here on that far side. 4-2 the score here in the waning moments of this one as Sherratt knocks it forward, looking for Smith. Couldn't find it. Ball goes to ground. Set upon by the Jillaroos. Stayed with the footy there, and then that one will get called as Balsley was in there. And that will be a free kick coming out, and that will go the way. I don't see who had it. Joanne Beatty had it for a moment, but Texas has it as they cling to that 2-point lead here in the waning moments.
And can they get it out of defence? That's the question for the Jillaroos. They're essentially looking for, not to rely on one player, but they're looking for Balsley. They're looking for Sherratt to try and get the ball and charge and get it in long and quick into their forward line. But for the Heat, this is what they wanted, just to move it up the line. But really, they should have stayed wide instead of using the central corridor, because as we spot, this is the opportune time now for the Jillaroos to attack. They go towards it a half forward. Excellent rebound off defence. Lovely kicking action there by the number 13 in Bagley. You said they've been impressed with her. There's been a lot of talk, and I'm really impressed with that kicking style. Morris now has it, got it towards centre half forward, got it to Gall. Gall heading in the Nafpoff direction. She's dangerous, picks it up in the forward pocket, wants to sell the candy, does the team thing, wants to try and centre the football. William going after the football, couldn't pick it up. Poff goes in again. She's under all kinds of pressure, gets the hand pass backwards. Hand pass came in board. Brilliant intercept there by the Jillaroos. They managed to smack the ball away. It's 45 metres out from goal. Going in there is Harrison again. Feeds away a handball. Is that too high? No, straight the
a tackle there. Hand pass, trying to use the agency of Morris. Umpire's blown the whistle, and I think he might have signalled a throw there, and a free kick going the way of the Jillaroos.
Amazing desperation by Shannon Mahoney to break that up. She may have saved the game for her team, but the clock is not on their side, and neither is the distance. Ball on the far side as that one goes to ground. Smooter stays with the football for the Jills. Ball gets knocked to ground. They stay with that one a little bit. Ball pops up into the air, now going forward. Smith was held off the footy, not called. Or was it? Yes, I think that one's going to come back. So here is the former Australian national beach handball player, Bronwyn Smith, who lives in the Cincinnati area. She'll throw that one on to the left, high up into the air, one-on-one contest. Shearer with a one-handed chance, but that one is intercepted and done nicely by the Texas hit in Winters. Very impressive by this Heat side, but she kicks it into the mark. Commentators curse right into Shearer. Ball squirts out to the far side, picked up by Von Herath again, gets away, throws that one on to the right. Here come the Jills, looking for Ashton Guy, bounced out of her way. Boom, big tackle. She was always going to win that one. Centering ball finds Berniarski. Berniarski kicks for goal. Off to the side for a behind. 4-3. Wow, just agonizingly close.
Well, if that ball didn't clip that point post earlier, it would have been all tied up. Yep. So a game is a matter of millimetres as we wait for the ball for the Heat to bring it out of the back line. The thing that they've got to do, the Heat, because they sit on the lead, is they have to stay wide. The boundary line is their best friend, particularly when there's no time on. I think Winters was through the football there. Umpire said no, play on. He's allowing it to go on. Guys looking around in space if they can get it to her. Darski got the football out. Thinks about the bounce, gets on the left boot, someone waiting in the goal square for the football, can't let it go through, she doesn't, that's smart football, swing around there, I think it's Morris who now kicks the Wards half back. Oh, great mark taken there by Winters, and you can hear the call from the bench, hold the football, and when the time's on your side, you lead by a point, you hold it as long as you can till the umpire tells you to hurry up. Kicks it long up the ground when probably should have stayed wide. Ball, they cry holding the ball. Umpire, throw away the whistle. It said play on, I don't care. Let's get a good finish. Kicks it long and high. Heading in the guy direction who tries to mark the football. Had it. Ball Falconer on the head. Goes to ground. 3-on-2. Numbers with the Heat at the moment. They're trying to lock it in. And the umpire calls for the ball up. How long can there be? We mustn't be too far away from a final hooter.
What a game of footy. Here we go. Boy, this is a memorable one. Ball goes to ground. Staying after it, getting knocked backwards is Smith. Ball's to the ground as Phillips is in there as well. Texas trying to extract it. They do in Bagley. Bagley does a great job, but that's going to come all the way back. And what is it?
I think it's a ball up.
It is going to be another ball up as Bagley was a little late. The whistle is blown. It has. That is full time at the football. And the Texas Heat on debut have won their first game. It was a hard-fought victory. It was a hard-fought game by both teams. It was all minor scores, but all that matters is that they get the chocolates on the day. The final score, the Texas Heat 4, the Columbus Jillaroos 3. No goals in this game, but what a game of footy.
What a contest, and what good signs as well from the Texas Heat. To be honest, when they came to the tournament, everyone went, oh, geez, they've got a lot of new players. Maybe they'll be the wooden spooners this year and have a good effort, but maybe not walk away with a win. Regardless of what happens in the tournament, they get to walk away, even if it's a low scoreline, to say, we got a win on the board. We got one away, monkeys off the back early.
Absolutely, and you mentioned Bagley. You mentioned Harrison, who had a number of good plays. Napolipoff was her normal self. Beck Stevens got a lot of touches. This is very impressive, yeah.
And full credit as well to the Houston men and some of the other Texas men that have stuck around, watched and loudly cheered on their girls, you know, really getting that club atmosphere behind them. So for the girls that are playing Australian football for the first time, it encourages to come back and not only try for the Nationals, but to get hopefully full sides up from Houston, Austin and Dallas.
Yeah. And Milo Lombardi, I talked to him yesterday and he said, you know, I told him about Katrina and he said, listen, we're going to do our best against her. And I'll tell you what, they neutralized her for the most part. And talk about Columbus real quick. I mean, this is a team that frankly really hasn't had a whole lot of success at Nationals. You know, they went winless in combination last year, but heads up to them, and I think they're really developing. They've got a fair bit of numbers. It's good to see a good effort, and they just didn't get the points on the game.
With Guy, who they're looking for their goal kicker and was trying to take the big marks, I think for someone like Guy, you need to have more deeper in the goal square. They were probably just lacking, a bit like San Francisco has with Small, like they're just kind of lacking that centre half forward, just to be that crucial link-up. So Shearer can stay more defensive in midfield, hit the link-up player, and then try and, because she's got the size guy, and you just saw in that 2-on-1 where she easily bumped 2 players out of the way, use that to the advantage in the goal square would be more effective.
And if I'm going to play what is it, the Sunday morning quarterback or whatever Monday morning quarterback is, I would play Bronwyn Smith with her hands and her size. She should be playing in that forward line and being the speed, and then drawing defenders out, and then having Guy as a target, and then making their play one-on-one to have her as a target in the goal square and clear out.
And just quickly, I liked Harrison coming off, and Winters as well with their physical work off the back line as well. And even though in that half we only saw it go up there once, Naf Poff in the forward 50, very dangerous, experienced player, and it's like if they could just get it on the fast burst and a little bit more space to Poff, she can really do some damage. And you see, it didn't quite stick, but she tried to do the team thing, knowing I can't kick on the angle, but I'm trying to center the ball.
Yeah, they're very. I think overall it's a very good hit out for their first game. I think they're going to need to score a goal, at least one goal, if they're going to want to beat teams like Portland down the line.
Well, it's time to wrap things up here at Surf Cup Sports Park in San Diego. I'm Peter Holden. He is USAFL Media Manager Brian Barish. Mark Gonzalez on camera. We look forward to catching you again on youtube.com/USAFL.